All right, Rich the Meister Dillon here for Decibel Geek Podcast and the CGCM Podcast here in beautiful Sweden on location at the Sweden Rock Festival. Great pleasure today. I get to speak to Enid from Girlschool, so
Hi.
really appreciate you sitting down with us for a few minutes. Let's just have an open chat and let's say, have you ever played the festival here before in Sweden?
Yeah, we played, I think it was 2002.
Okay, before my time coming here. It's a long way. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the sun here in Sweden?
Well, it's pretty unusual, isn't it?
I know.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I've experienced it, so I understand.
Yeah, it's quite unusual.
But I think
cold in the night, though.
It's
yes. Cold in the night.
Yeah. Like freezing cold, in fact. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about this festival overall? Because I know Girlschool plays a lot of festivals. Is this one of your favorite ones, or are there other ones that you prefer to play to? And I'm asking this for my own personal thing, because I like to travel to festivals, so I'm trying to find some other good ones.
Well,
what do you think?
We just love playing, we love playing all festivals, really, because we get to see other bands and it's more sociable.
Right.
And yeah, we just love it. I mean, obviously, we signed with Wacken Records, and that is just so ginormous. That's kind of a special one.
Perfect.
For us. And like little sort of boutique festivals can be nice. But Sweden, we're playing another festival called Statement, which is an all-women festival later on in the year. And that's something different again. But we've been coming to Scandinavia quite a lot the last few years. Oh. And it's been great because you do see more women in the audience, and we're getting a lot younger audiences than we used to. And Sweden is particularly the case.
So that other festival you just mentioned, what's the name of it again?
Statement. Yeah, it's
and it's all female, which is perfect because if I'm not
something
mistaken,
different. Yeah.
Are you not considered the first all-female band? I've read that somewhere, but I'm not sure how accurate that was.
In some respect, I'm very aware. There's a camera over there, but I don't know which way I'm supposed to be talking. So, hi over there. So, should I talk to you like this?
We could do that.
Should I talk to you like this?
I'm not looking at it either.
I don't know about this side. Maybe it should be this side.
Maybe we ought to face the camera. That's a good idea.
Well, it's kind of. I feel I'm a bit rude. Kind of whichever way I look. It's hi over there.
Let me take my sunglasses off so I can see you. But anyway, yes, you're certainly one of the pioneers of all-female bands.
Yeah, very much so. We, officially, the start date was 1978.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So it's our 40th anniversary.
Right, I was just going to ask that if it's officially the 40th anniversary this year.
Yeah, it is. But we've been pretty slow for various reasons. It's complicated, really complicated. But Kim and I started a band 3 years before that called Painted Lady.
The Painted Lady, yes.
And really, Girlschool came out of Painted Lady. So in 1978, Rock Goddess, for example, who are friends of ours, they started in 77. And a lot of punk bands started around 77 as well. It was just a whole movement. It was that kind of can-do attitude.
Yeah, all around the same time. Oh, okay.
But it was like, pick up a guitar, play 3 chords, and anyone can do it. And so girls suddenly go, oh, maybe I can do that too. So it was kind of, punk was nearly as many female bands as there were male bands in the beginning. Okay. So when we started in 75, I think it was February of 75, and a few months later, we heard the Runaways do Cherry Bomb. And looking back now, I mean, Joan Jett, fantastic, and each of them individually were fantastic, but the way that they were promoted at that time, like the album cover had these 5 boxes with like a pair of thighs and an arse and a pair of breasts, and they were got together by Kim Fowley, and it seemed very much like the sort of, the man that puts them together, like the Spice Girls, and we didn't come together like that. It was very self-generated,
right?
So we didn't really relate to them. Though now looking back, so they were pioneers in their kind of way, but we really were starting the same year. And Denise was already out there gigging, so those 3 years were really fundamental. We were treated like aliens from outer space.
Exactly. I was going to ask that. Now, is that still something that happens?
Occasionally.
Yeah, I've heard that from some other female vocalists and stuff like that they often have.
It's a very strange world at the moment because in some ways it's got a lot better for women, And you see, I mean, it was quite extraordinary. There's a documentary on Jeff Beck, and quite different music, quite jazz orientated, but half his band are female. And in 1980, we recorded Race with the Devil and released it as a single. And he was on a panel reviewing it, and he said, "Oh, that's not a girl. Girls can't play like that." Talking about the guitar, and then he apologised later.
Yeah, because he realised that it was a live gig that showed him the difference, wasn't it?
Well, somebody probably told him.
Okay,
I don't know. Maybe he saw a live gig. I don't know. But either way, he was pretty patronising. He apologised afterwards. You know, he's a great guy in music, and half his band now are female, which is
so there you go.
Is brilliant. And so in some ways, we've come forward. You've got obviously Pink, Beyonce. You've really got a whole movement of and sort of standard pop women with huge audience. Someone like Beyonce, who's one of the biggest artists in the world, having a female band makes a massive difference.
Right, sure.
But when we came along, we really were, it was something we wanted to do. And when you get ridiculed and you just keep going and you keep going, I mean, thousands of times.
You must have had a lot to push through to be able to continue, and that's an admirable thing that you really believed in it that much, and you really wanted to do it. And
we did.
Awesome.
Well, there were a few other female bands. There were Fanny and Bertha in the States, and that was sort of late 60s, early 70s. But again, with America, it just seemed so far away. It was hard for us to relate to. It didn't really have any bearing on our lives.
Right.
And then you had individual musicians, like you had Maureen Tucker with the Velvet Underground. These people were really, really important in a way. But again, and then Susie Quattro, but she came up very much through the pop stable. And now looking back, she was fantastic. Her whole image, everything was great about her. But she was doing pop songs written by men, managed by a guy who was kind of churned out pop singers, and we didn't really relate to that. We wanted to be Zeppelin or Sabbath.
Perfect.
And so, and there weren't any women that we knew doing that. There were about a dozen female musicians in the whole of London. We all knew each other, and we kind of changed lineups.
Right.
But by '78, in those 3 years, the world really turned around for women. But in other ways, it's gone really backwards as well now.
Like how?
Well, it's you still don't get a lot of women on festival bills, for example. And
trying to remember now how many are here this weekend.
It's there's a few things I don't really want to go into
right
now.
No problem.
But in some ways things have got a lot better. In some ways they haven't really changed enough at all. Vixen are on this bill, and so
we saw them yesterday.
I suppose if you're looking at sales, you kind of go, well, why aren't there still more women out there? And it's still very, very, very male orientated.
Something we have to keep working on, and I know yourselves and a lot of other bands are doing that, so that's
you
fantastic.
Could say,
I would love to see more of it.
Yeah, and why is there not more kind of people of colour playing rock music? There's still an element of
there's people out there that do that, but they're not into the limelight. They're not the right person at the right time to get the promotion and the push and so forth. So what about now for your 40th anniversary? Do you have anything special planned?
Yeah.
Are we working on any new music?
We're putting together...
You know I have to ask.
Of course. No, we're putting together a DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
Now, is it... it's already filmed, or today's show might be on it?
It's already filmed.
Oh, so I won't be on it. Okay.
No, sorry. But we I don't want to give too much away.
Okay,
but,
no problem.
But we've got some gigs that
so
filmed.
There's a few things coming.
Yeah, there were a whole lot of stuff, because there was a DVD in the past, but it was a kind of one-off lineup that didn't really gel.
Right. Okay.
And it wasn't. That was decades ago.
It's time to put something out proper and current with the new lineup, because the last album that was 2 years old now.
Yeah, 2.5
Guilty
years.
of Sin. Yeah, fantastic album. It made my top 10 of the year when it came out.
Much.
So
brilliant.
I'm not saying that because you're sitting there. I really did enjoy it, and I was so happy.
Playing 2 songs of that.
Okay, great. I probably know which
nice
ones.
Cup of tea, English. There you go.
Okay, 2 seconds. I just wanted to ask you quick about the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Because that's the first time I got to see you, and I love that thing. And I saw you ladies around the boat. You looked like you were having a great time. So how was the reaction to that? And then we'll let you go.
Well, I don't know any bands that don't love doing those cruises. It's kind of, we're not in the league where we can go off on cruises for holidays, and we travel a fair bit when we're playing. And in January to be 28 degrees and to be out there sunbathing and in a sauna watching a band, and it's great. You've got just non-stop music and a few days of non-stop music, and you've got the weather, and I mean, it's just.
If I recall,
brilliant.
Jackie got burnt. Something about Freddy Krueger's scratches when the sunburn, if I recall from stage. But anyway,
we love it.
I'll let you go. I know you're getting ready for the gig tonight, which is only a short time away. So I'm looking forward to it, and I thank you very much for sitting down with us.
Thank you.